Hope everybody is having a wonderful morning. It's a beautiful morning. Today's Thursday, April 8th, and I welcome you to today's video cast. Like always, we'll be starting with the updates from the website from LaredoBuzz.com. To follow the updates, like I've said before, you go to www.LaredoBuzz.com. You will be able to see the updates in chronological order as far as what I'll be reading to you, or as of course, disseminating as far as information is concerned. Like I said before, these updates come from public information officers here locally, whether if it's the city of Laredo, UISD, the county, the sheriff's department, the district attorney's office. We do have categories that you can go into and see the archive. There's quite a bit of extensive um, information that dates back to at least on this format to at least uh, I would say 12 years. Uh, there's also a section called Classic Buzz on the blog row. You'll be able to see updates from previous years to that. And we'll go ahead and get started. And today, well, before we start with the updates, I'm going to tell you who's going to be with us today. Today, we're going to have a good friend of mine named Javi Gutierrez who will be joining us. Javi is a local graphic designer. He has a great business. He sells print material. He'll be talking a little bit about his business, how he got started, some of his inspirations, and so forth. Not only does Javi Gutierrez have the business as far as the graphics are concerned, but he's also a local podcaster who's been around for quite some years. I love what he does. We were talking about it yesterday, and I think it's something pretty cool and unique. I think everybody who podcasts or video casts or whatever they do, they add that little flair of of uniqueness to whatever they do, and Javi is no exception. He is no different. What Javi does, he centers on international artists who perform, and if I'm not mistaken, it's Spanish rock. He's going to tell us a little bit about his podcast, how he got started, what it is that exactly his podcast is all about. And I'm really excited to hear that because as somebody who has just started this here myself, as far as video and podcast, I'm really curious to see how he started, what he does, and all that good stuff. But anyways, let's go into the website. Go ahead and follow me on your browser. Go to the top of your browser. Go to www.laredobuzz.com, and you're going to see the updates for today that I'll be speaking about. Now, I also remind you that aside from the updates that you're going to be seeing, we also have local weather. If you look at the right-hand side of the website, you will see that it's a beautiful 70 degrees today. It'll tell you exactly, what the weather is like at the moment. It's 70 degrees. And underneath that, we do have links to some of the major news or media platforms. I always start off, of course, with USA Today. It's going to have a few stories that you can find there. If you go down a little further, you'll see the CNN top stories. If you go a little bit further down, you'll see that there's a section there for Fox News as well as MSNBC. Okay. Now, to the left of the website, you'll see a video feed. You're going to see comments. I do welcome you to visit the website and leave your comments on whatever it is that you're reading. And underneath that, you're going to see a site search. You're going to see movie listings, and then you'll see the categories as well as the archives. And we're going to go ahead and start with an update that comes in from the United ISD curriculum. It comes from the from the United School District Public Information Office, and this comes from Lauren Cavazos, and she tells us that United ISD Curriculum and Instruction Department celebrates Librarian Appreciation Week. Okay, now this is the way it reads. This is from Ms. Lauren Cavazos. It reads United's ISD Office of Curriculum Instruction and Director of Staff Development, Celia Tabuada. She hosted an appreciation drive-through for the district's elementary, middle, and high school librarians. Okay, states librarians around the district stopped by the C&I offices to pick up their treat baskets and gift box. Associate Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, David Gonzalez, Executive Director of Middle School Instruction, David Canales, as well as Director of Elementary Education, Saida Gonzalez, Director of Staff Development, Celia Tabuada, and many other employees of the C&I department greeted the librarians. Okay, UIC also, of course, wishes the librarians a happy Librarians Week. That's a really nice update there. I didn't know that we're celebrating Librarian Week, and that's the beauty about seeing updates like this, is that you see, you learn and you see as the, new things, of course, that are going on and so forth. We have a update that comes in from the city of Laredo. This one comes in from Isabel Sosa, and it tells us that the city of Laredo has inaugurated the Eleden Splash Park in District 1. This is District 1. You're getting they're opening up a new splash park in Eleden. District 1, the council member there is Mr. Rudy Gonzalez. This is a project that was worked amongst his staff and the city and so forth. And the way that this reads is that on Wednesday, April 7th, the city of Laredo celebrated a ribbon cutting ceremony. That, of course, was yesterday, to inaugurate the splash pad at Eleden Park, located in District 1. Mayor Pro Tempore and Council Member for District 1, Rudy Gonzalez Jr., along with City Manager Robert Eads, spoke about this project, which was intended to open during spring break of 2020, right before the general health orders came into effect to protect the community from COVID-19. As many city buildings closed, activities and events were postponed. This ceremony was one of the first ones to come to a halt because of the pandemic. Now, the Eleden Splash Park is officially open to the public. As you can see, this was something that was actually supposed to open up last year, and because of COVID, it was pushed back a little further to this year. So the project was approved by City Council on December 2018 and was awarded to Sheffrey Engineering Company as the main consultant and Romo contractors for the execution of the plans. The design included the construction of the splash park with fabric shaded structures, wrought iron fencing, restrooms, outdoor showers, and sidewalks. The splash park includes spray features, mechanical equipment, pumps, piping controls, equipment, and lighting. The project was funded with $551,000 from Community Development Block Grants funds and $467,663 from District 1 priority funds. The total was over $1 million. The project was long overdue, but finally we come to this day. So that's good for the community in South Laredo. Again, South Laredo, you do get another water park. If I'm not mistaken, this is the third one in our area, in various points of the areas and the districts, of course, that are broken up into city boundaries or what have you. So we also have another update from the city of Laredo. This comes from David Alegria, and it tells us that the city of Laredo celebrated or highlighted employees of the quarter. Okay, so the city of Laredo recognized employees for their outstanding work and dedication, and this is the way it reads. The city of Laredo congratulates the employees of the quarter for being recognized by their peers. The recognitions took place during the Laredo Council meeting. This happened on Tuesday, April 6th. Peers nominate employees who show characteristics such as job performance, dependability, positivity, commitment, and many more. 3 winners are chosen per quarter from areas including clerical, administrative, out on the field, police, and fire departments. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and read the recipients, their names. if you know any of these people, definitely congratulate them for their work and for their recognition based on their work and their efforts. It tells us from the fire department, we had Captain David Esparza, who was recognized. He has been with the fire department for over 29 years and has served citizens with poise, honor, and humility. He has served as a fire and EMS training instructor and has taught many paramedics. During the COVID-19 pandemic, he has helped the Laredo Health Department directly in administering COVID-19 tests, vaccination campaigns, and setting protocols to respond to Laredo citizens. The award was presented by Chief Guillermo Hurd. Also, we do have Mr. Carlos Ramirez. He is a microcomputer specialist, the city secretary department in the city secretary department for over 21 years. Mr. Ramirez has proven to be a dependable employee for the city of Laredo. Mr. Ramirez was recognized as an employee who is full of passion, enthusiasm, and positivity. His peers continue to recognize and praise his hard work. The award was presented by City Secretary Jose Valdez. That's City Secretary Jose Valdez. He awarded the recognition or the award to Mr. Carlos Ramirez, who was a microcomputer specialist for the city of Laredo. Also, we had Cesar O. Baez. He is a solid waste crew leader at the solid waste department. Mr. Baez has worked with the city for over 27 years. His coworkers describe him as dedicated, devoted, responsible, professional, and he's a go-getter. Mr. Baez works 3 different shifts. That's 3 different shifts that he works as part of the solid waste department. The award was presented by the interim director of solid waste, Mr. John Porter. Again, that was Cesar O. Baez from the city of Laredo Solid Waste Department. He was recognized for outstanding work and service, 27 years in service to the city of Laredo. It's great work, that it's outstanding. It's good to hear, and it's great to see that these employees are recognized for their efforts. I do have one more update that I'm going to share with you. This, though, is not from today. This is actually from yesterday. This is an update from yesterday that I'm going to go ahead and share with you. And it has to do with COVID. And like I had told you, COVID is still out there. You need to definitely, be aware of it and be careful, even though that lots of people, including myself, have gotten vaccinated, and even though a lot of people are scheduled to be vaccinated, and I've noticed that the vaccinations have opened up a bit more as far as availability here in the city. I know that UISD has, been registering, some of the, their employees for the vaccine, and if I'm not mistaken, it's already been made available at some of our local pharmacies, and but still, don't let your guard down. The virus is still out there. Even if you're vaccinated, you still, of course, face the danger of contracting the virus. It probably, according to the experts, the health experts, it probably won't hit you as severe as you would get it if you're not vaccinated. But still, do take your precautions. As you can see, I still take my precautions, even here at home. I do have people here in front of me who are helping me out with the video cast, and I wear the face mask out of respect for them. One of the people here who is joining me, she joins me every morning to help me out, is my daughter Angela, and we do take care of each other, and I suggest that everybody does the same thing. Now, the update that I'm going to share with you is, it's an unfortunate update. It is informing us of continued deaths in the city of Laredo that are taking place, unfortunately, because of COVID. And the update tells us, and this comes from Ms. Noraida Negron, the update tells us that 6 Laredoans have lost their lives. This was confirmed. The actual post was posted yesterday, And the deaths are actually confirmed from Friday, April 2nd, 2021. And I believe it's probably till, maybe a day before yesterday or what have you. But it tells us that the city of Laredo and Webb County have confirmed 6 new deaths since April 2nd. And this is in relation, of course, to COVID-19. The city of Laredo definitely encourages you to take precautions. And it tells us a little bit about the people as far as the age. Of course, names are not disclosed. Vital information is not disclosed as far as who they were or where they lived or so forth. But it does go into a little bit of a brief detail from numbers 821st to 826, where it's of course that's where the COVID Laredo death I guess count stands at, and it tells us number 821st or the number 821 as far as the death is concerned was a female in her 70s. Number 822nd or 822 was another female in her 70s. 823rd was a male in his mid 50s. He passed away on March 5th. And also, number 824th was a female in her 50s. Number 825 or 825th was somebody in their 60s, and that was a male as well. And number 826 that was counted and added to the death toll when it comes to COVID in Laredo was a male in his late 70s. And it's unfortunate that these deaths continue, to take place and to be added to the list of COVID-19 fatalities. And, again, take your precautions, be careful, watch out what you're doing, how you're doing, and where you're at. Definitely always wash your hands, sanitize your areas, and so forth. The update is also giving us some vaccine statistics. It tells us that first dose vaccines that have been administered, we're at 49.92. I believe that would be 49% of the population, for a total of over 98,000 Laredoans who have been vaccinated. Now, fully vaccinated, it tells us that it's over the 56,000 mark, for a percentage of 28% of people who have been fully vaccinated. Again, I tell you that I'm vaccinated. I was honored and privileged to receive the vaccine in Cotulla roughly about a month ago. I feel great and very grateful for the city of Cotulla for having helped me out with the vaccination. I do unfortunately have underlying conditions, and that is something that convinced me to definitely go out and be protected from the virus. It also tells us that people or citizens of Laredo who are over 65 years old, it gives us a percentage of people who have been vaccinated there, and that is 20,000, which is 72% of the population of 65 and older. So they also tell us some of the guidelines that you can follow to help prevent the spread of the diseases. This, of course, comes from the CDC and WHO, and it does tell us wear a mask or a face covering when you're around people, of course. If you're at home, you can definitely take off your mask and enjoy fresh air. But if you're out at work, if you're out and about shopping, do try to wear a face covering. It also tells us to avoid touching your face. Do not touch your face, especially if you've touched, anything that you might think that might have some type of contamination and so forth. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. If you have a family member who is positive or a friend, try to avoid them as much as possible. And I know how we are here in Laredo, where we try to help people who we know that are sick or in some type of need of assistance. If you're going to take groceries, if you're going to take any type of food or articles for them, leave it outside their door. Don't go inside. Go ahead and maybe text them or message them and tell them, hey, I left something for you outside the door. Go ahead and open the door and so that they can pick up their items that you left. Cover up all coughs and sneezes. You definitely want to do that. Don't be out in public sneezing or coughing and spreading any type of germs or anything like that. Definitely continue to clean, frequently touch surfaces. Go ahead and definitely touch anything that you touch or anything that your family members have been touching. Definitely go ahead and clean that up. Keep all the areas as safe and clean as possible. And we're going to go ahead and send our link or the invitation to our friend Javi. He tells me he's already arrived at his office, and we're going to go ahead and send him the link so he can go ahead and join us. Once he receives the link, he follows the instructions. And what we're doing today, it's as far as the conversation that we're having with Javi. I had mentioned to you earlier that I wanted to open up these conversations, not just so much politically, but I wanted to open up a conversation dialogue with local citizens so that they could share their experiences of, what it is exactly that they do in their particular, career field or their job. And like I said during the last video cast, I think that everybody in Laredo offers something unique and different in our community. And when everybody comes together, of course, to perform their duties, it strengthens our city or county. And, they offer services or business savvy that help mold our community. And Javi Gutierrez is one of those great people. And, I'm really excited to speak with him about what he offers. We're going to do something a little different today. And this is actually, I think that it's going to add that little uniqueness to what we do. Is we're going to be conducting the conversation in Spanish. Javi has already joined us. We're going to conduct the conversation in Spanish today. And, I think everybody in Laredo, understands and speaks Spanish. Mr. Javi Gutierrez has already logged into the feed. We're just going to give him maybe a few minutes to go ahead and get himself set up. Javi has been a great friend of mine for years. Javi has, like I tell you, various talents. He's a graphic designer. He's a business owner. He sells signs and all types of print material. If you're running a political campaign, I definitely encourage you to reach out to him. He has great pricing. He offers great service. Anytime that I go with him, it's always a good time as far as the way that he conducts himself and the work that he does. He's very professional. Aside from that, Javi is also a musician. We're going to ask him, of course, what his musical talents include. And aside from the business and the musical talents that he does, Javi is also a local podcaster. And we were talking about it briefly yesterday. I love what he does. It's something different in the form that, he reaches out to international artists, who perform. And I think that's something pretty neat, something pretty unique. And again, it shows you that Laredoans have so much talent and so many capabilities as far as what they offer. And we're going to go ahead and have Javi join us. Javi, bienvenido. Como te estaba diciendo, amigos, vamos a empezar esta conversación en español. Sé que la hemos hecho antes. Javi, bienvenido. ¿Me escuchas, Javi? ¿Puedes escuchar el feed? We're having a little bit of technical difficulty. Let me go ahead and ask Javi to check his settings and see what we can do. We'll go ahead and send him a message. I believe his microphone is probably not activated. And let's see what we can do here. Send him a message. Sometimes these settings are a bit confusing. and we're going to go ahead and send him a message and see if he can see us on his end over there or hear us. And I believe he's reading the message. As soon as he tells us that he's ready, we're going to go ahead and start with. And that's a pretty cool, unique thing of doing this live, that you get to see the technical difficulties as well. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. Let's see if he can hear us. Javi, ¿nos escuchas, Javi? Javi, ¿nos escuchas? Okay, I don't think that Javi can hear us. I can see him working. Javi,
Si
¿nos
me, no, no, si tú me escuchas, yo no te escucho. No soy audio.
Ok, yo te escucho, sí te puedo escuchar yo aquí. Checa tu sistema ahí de qué lado, a ver si nos puedes escuchar. Maybe what we can do is ask him some of the questions
A
through
ver,
Messenger.
stereo.
Okay. We're telling him that we can hear him on this side. Let's see.
Dice que ajustar el volumen. No, pues es el microphone.
Okay, he's still working on his end. Let's go ahead and hide the stream again. No sense in showing something that we can't see at the moment. But he is working on it on his end. And let's see if he can hear me. Maybe we can do something where he can. We're going to try to do this. And let's see if he can follow this along through Messenger. Bear with me. We're doing something here that has technical problems, but let's see if he can pick this up. I sent him the first question. I asked him to go ahead and tell us a little bit about his services. Javi, ¿nos escuchas? He still can't hear us. He still can't hear us. Part of the problems that we have with this is that you have to have.
No te escucho, pero ya me metí aquí al Facebook y ahí sí te alcanzo.
Okay.
No sé por qué no se escucha.
Okay. Go ahead and send him the questions. And let's see if we can get this going through Messenger questions. Let's see if he can hear this. I sent him a question. And
ya los vi.
Okay. I think we're still having some. Let's see.
Déjame ver aquí, sí, bueno.
Okay, he's still trying to figure it out.
¿No crees que necesite ponerme unos audífonos?
Well, let's ask him to do that. He's asking me if he should wear some headpiece or something. Well, yeah, go ahead and do that. Let's see if we can get that going. And we're going to go ahead and hide the stream for now. And let's see if Javi can get this going. And let's see if he can get this going so that we can go ahead and continue with him. But while he's out there conducting his technical changes or what have you, we're going to share something with you as far as at a national scale, where first-time unemployment claims have gone up once again. These claims are of course, measured or tracked by the federal government, and it tells us that over 744,000 people have filed first-time unemployment claims, and that is an increase from last week. The numbers keep going up as far as unemployment is concerned, and I guess there's a lot of factors that could probably contribute. Some of it, of course, has to deal with COVID and people losing their jobs or not being able to go back, and the numbers are going to continue to rise as far as people being unemployed. I don't think that it's anything that's going to change at the moment, and I think that unfortunately the numbers will continue to escalate as far as unemployment is concerned. And let me see if we can invite somebody else here to join us today, and maybe they can talk a little bit about these numbers and what have you. And, this is somebody who's been here with us before and who has been able to log on. The link with Javi Durst or Javi Gutierrez, who we're going to have a conversation with, unfortunately did not work. So we're going to go ahead and see if we can reach out to another friend who see if they can join us. If not, we're just going to have to go ahead and like they say, fly solo and cut it maybe a little bit shorter. But again, what we can do is, okay, we're going to go ahead and be joined by a friend of ours, Ms. Cynthia Vasquez has received the link. She's just going to take a few minutes to set up. So we will be speaking with somebody in a few minutes. And it's always good to speak with Ms. Vasquez. A lot of you know her or have her on Facebook as Piel Morena. She is a great person that I had the honor to meet a few days ago. I would say maybe about 8, 9, 10 days ago. She helped us out with the first video cast and introduced us. She introduced us to Ms. Leah Lopez, who in turn introduced us to Ms. Sandra Witten. And I love speaking with Cynthia. She has some great views as far as when it comes to the Conservative Party. And we're really excited to talk with her as much as we can. And it's always great to hear different viewpoints, whether if it's something political or something, where people are sharing information from their work or the services that they offer. And Ms. Vasquez has great input as far as some of the local activities from the Conservative Party. I did get to speak yesterday with a gentleman who was telling me a little bit about some of the conservative groups that have been formed here. That was Mr. Victor Hugo Trevino. He is involved, and I'll tell you what group he is involved with. He is involved with the Webb County Republican Party. We had a very interesting conversation yesterday. Very nice person, and it was really nice for him to have reached out yesterday. I really enjoyed the conversation, Victor, and hopefully Victor can join us at a later date and tell us a little bit. Maybe he can tell us a little bit of how the local Webb County Republican chapter was formed, and give us some insight as far as what it is that they do. Like I tell you, we had some technical difficulties with Javi Gutierrez, but we're going to go ahead and wait for Ms. Cynthia Vasquez. Hopefully she will be able to join us in a bit. And let's see. I'm seeing if I know she's still working on it. She wasn't scheduled to come in and join us, but she is getting her computer set up ready so that she could go ahead and join us in a bit. And I'm trying to see still if we can get a hold of Javi, but I don't think that Javi's link is working. We're going to send it to him one more time, see if we can get him going. And let's see if Javi could see this. Get this. This is not working on his end yet. Okay, we're waiting for Ms. Vasquez. Let's see if Ms. Vasquez has received the link. Go ahead and ask her on Messenger and see what is going on. And let's see if we can get somebody here to join us. Well, in the meantime, I'm going to speak to you a little bit about my trips that I've been taking. The past 3 weeks, I've been having a great time. I've been traveling the surrounding areas. I've had an opportunity to see things that I hadn't seen before, which is great. I've traveled with my daughter Angela. I've also traveled or had my niece Maria join me on my last visit out of town. We ended up going to Corpus Christi, and it's always good to see these areas and absorb the local culture. I've really been fascinated by the murals that are out and about. I got to see a lot of good stuff in Austin. They have a lot of interesting murals around Texas. And you can go to my not to the website, you can go to my Facebook profile. You'll be able to see some of the pictures that I've taken. I've had the opportunity to visit Austin. I went to the state capitol for the very first time. That was a very interesting trip. And when you get to take these trips, you get to see a lot of the interactions that people have and different things that that they do over there and other locations. And I'm hoping that a lot of those things that I see can be brought back and shared with some of the leaders here in Laredo to see how we could maybe try to see if we could implement some of these things out there. And one of the things that I loved on my visit over there, out of town, not only to Austin but to Corpus and surrounding areas, is I love reading the storyboards. I call them storyboard boards because of the information that is on them. But if you go to the parks, whether if it's New Braunfels or Austin, you get to see storyboards there amongst the park that tells you everything, of course, from what wildlife you will experience to the different types of plants and trees that you can see. It's very educational. I love that. I think it's great for the communities to gather and not only go out there and take advantage, of course, of the amenities that those cities offer as far as soccer fields, baseball fields, and so forth. But it's great to read along with those storyboards or information boards and learn a little bit of what you're going to see. I had a great time seeing a lot of the natural wildlife that is there at Landa Park. And aside from seeing it, it was also great to see the information that is out there and so forth, as far as what the natural habitats are for the wildlife to survive and what they eat and all that good stuff. It's always good to read along. So Corpus, of course, when I went out there, it was great to see the ocean, and it was good to actually immerse myself in, or at least my feet in the water. Started off a bit cold, but then of course it warms up and all that good. So it's kind of like being in a swimming pool. Now again, some of these trips, the other cool thing about it is to get to experience the different food that is available at the restaurants and so forth. Now I'm looking at the invitations and the feeds that I've been sending. Apparently Javi is still having problems, so we're going to go ahead and wait on him just a few more minutes. Miss Cynthia is setting up, and she wasn't expecting to come in, so it's taking her a little bit longer. But we're going to go ahead and cut this video feed a little short. We had some unexpected technical difficulties. That's part of the learning process when it comes to the video and podcast. And I was hoping to speak with somebody today, but based on what I'm seeing, I do not think that we have a success with the links. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and owe you that conversation. We will be back on Friday. Friday we'll be back. We might be back with the radio cast, or we're going to try, or maybe we can try video again. But we will be back, of course, for sure on Friday. So again, we went over some of the local news updates. I do invite you to visit www.LaredoBuzz.com. You will be able to see the news updates that we talked about. Everything is in chronological order, and there is an archive there. We do have a lot of neat stuff. If you want to see what time your favorite movie is going to start at the theater, do go ahead and click on the theater links, and it will show you the times and dates of your favorite movies. Blog row, there's always a lot to see in the blog row. And before I go, I do also want to remind you that if you have any information on any type of a fundraiser, definitely go ahead and send me the information through message, through Facebook Messenger, or go ahead and drop it here below in the comments. But definitely go ahead and let me know about the fundraisers that are taking place amongst our community, so that we can help spread the word. It's always good to spread the word and have people participate in anything that when it comes to raising funds for local Laredoans. Again, I do apologize for the technical difficulties. We were not able to get the links across to our fellow Laredoans that we wanted to speak with. But we will be back on Friday. We're going to work out those little glitches. And again, this is all part of, going forward and experiencing these difficulties where we can go ahead and troubleshoot and so forth. So again, I thank you for joining us today. I will be leaving you with this. I'm just checking one last time to see if Javi can communicate, but apparently not. Again, thank you very much. We had technical difficulties. We will see each other again this Friday. I thank everybody who joined us, and I hope to see you guys soon again. Do continue to spread the word of the video cast, and we'll definitely go ahead and continue with the information that we put out there. Thank you.